you very much. Hi. Hi. It's so nice that you guys came out. That is exciting. This book is coming out. Mark is happy. Everything is good. The reason I think he invited me to introduce him is because our paths cross. We worked together many years ago at the Comedy Store, and then Mark now we're writing together, and then we haven't seen each other for many, many years, and then he came to see my show at the Acme Comedy Theater here on Fairfax, and reconnected, and he said he's got this book coming out, and that was, what, a year and a half ago or so, and so he plans ahead, and yes, and since then we reconnected, and we were writing a pilot for the show, comedy show that hopefully will be soon seen on national television. So he asked me to do this, and I said, well, why me? And he said, well, because you talk about similar things that this book is about. And what I focused on is laughter, really. And it started when I was a kid, growing up in the Soviet Union. My parents and I lived in a communal apartment. 9 families lived in one apartment. And my mom, my dad, and I shared the room till I was 26 years old. I'm not making this up. When I was a little kid, my parents wanted to be romantic. They would send me to look out the window. And then my dad would say, so what do you see in the window? I said, our neighbors being romantic. And he said, how can you tell? I said, because their son is looking at me. So I will, without further ado, I would love to introduce to you a man who I've been friends with for the last almost 30 years. And he is a contributor to LA Times and Huffington Post in blog and column. His book is a collection of those things. He was a comedian. He was a writer on several different national television shows. Please welcome Mark Miller.
Thanks, folks. Thanks, Yakov. I'm expecting a huge spike in sales in the Soviet Union now as a result. And I love that. I have to develop a laugh like that. Be a branding tool. I'm also glad Yakov's here because Ukraine girls really knock me out. Beatle fans? How many like me already? This is overwhelming. This must be what heaven is like, a room full of people that you love and love you, surrounded by books and restaurants outside. So, I'm thrilled you're here. Is there anyone here that I have not dated? A couple guys in the back. So my book, as Yakov mentioned, is a collection of 55 essays that I wrote. It's called 500 Dates. It was probably, to be honest, closer to 750 dates over probably a 20-year period. I didn't want to appear to be a slut, so I wrote 500 dates. And
okay, so I know Mark is a scheduler, which is why I'm doing neither of the songs I said I was going to do. But I want to assure him right now that I will say nothing that could get him barred from Barnes & Noble. Because nothing I'm going to say is in some book over there in Barnes. No, I'm kidding. No, I won't. It's the ultimate soul song. It's the epitome, just the encapsulation. Well, I don't know why we're here. I don't know if that'll ever be clear, but I don't care. No, I don't. Well, I don't know if love is real, if that's something that I'll ever feel, yeah. I don't care. Cause the time is short, but the nights are long. I'm a gentleman, but I try to be strong. I'm gonna stand right up, gonna say it loud to all the ladies in the room, so there'll be no doubt. Ooh, it's gonna gonna stop the singer. All right. It's gonna stop the singer. I think I'm gonna get some tonight. I know you think I'm shallow for propositioning every woman in the room at the same time, but I'm just efficient. I have 2 songs to work with, ladies. I don't have time to pussyfoot around. Besides, all it really means is that I'm doing my job as an entertainer, which is to make every woman in the audience want to get with me. Even if I wouldn't get with you if given the opportunity, but I'm not as selective as you think. So don't rule it out. This is what every single soul song you've ever heard is really about. It's gonna stop the singer. Now, bottom line, ladies, is you think men are shallow, they're trying to get with everything that moves and a few things that don't. But the fact is that we are just as deep as you are on the subject of, shall we say, corporal relations, since we are next to the children's section. Which I don't know why anyone ever puts me next to the children's section, but let that go for a minute. The bottom line is that we're as deep as you are. It's just that the time, we love you as much as you love us, ladies. It's just the time frame is different. See, we love you right now. That's all we know. We don't know about 10 minutes from now. No, that does not make it less real. That makes it more real. Because you take time out of the equation. It's inherently a Zen experience. And you can't recreate a Zen experience, which is why we don't call the next day. We know that love is like bubble wrap. The first time you get your hands on it, everything in church explodes. And after a while, you have to search a little harder for that little... The bottom line, ladies, we're actually a lot deeper than you. I was being kind of a lot deeper than you on the subject of corporal relations, because here's the thing. You're going to make us, I don't even know how to say this. There's like a million years of evolution that have honed our genetic structure to make men want to get with all of you. A million years, that's pretty deep. I mean, it's in every single cell of our DNA. You tell me what's deeper than that. That's pretty deep. Whereas you, no. You're gonna make us take you out to dinner 3 or 4 times first. Engage in an inane conversation or some book in the bargain section. All because of your mother or some church thing. Let's talk about shallow. Everybody sing it. It's gonna shut the singer. Ask the Jew next to you. Everybody Thank you very much.
I wanted to read from the book, but I know people's attention spans are short, so what I did was I gathered 15 short paragraphs from throughout the book, and I'm going to do a little excerpt from each of the essays here. What is more important than direct personal human connection, especially in the world of dating and romance? That's what I'd often say to a woman to whom I was attracted at a party, and she'd invariably reply, I agree, and so does my police officer husband who's approaching us with my drink right now. I still believe that true happiness comes from within, but I realize now that on the journey of romance, thrift and creativity will take you only so far. For the rest of the trip, you'll need MasterCard. That's when the solution occurred to me, and it was one that, strangely enough, I'd never even considered before. It was this. I would ask out someone I knew would be available, knew everything about, was good-looking, healthy, had a wonderful personality, shared all my interests, was romantic and passionate, and was really fun to be with. That's right. My plan was to ask out the only one I knew who fit those qualifications. I planned to ask myself out on a date. Most guys consider revealing more about themselves emotionally and communicating on a deeper level nearly as enjoyable as falling face first onto an ice pick. Or spending the rest of eternity listening to Celine Dion. Having logged 500 dates, I've consumed what scientists refer to in technical terminology as a buttload of caffeine. Consequently, I've been unable to fall asleep for the past 9 years. I am exhausted. A typical coffee date is exciting and romantic in the same way that a colonoscopy is soothing and carefree. One first date, she made out with me for half an hour, and the next day emailed me that she wasn't interested in meeting again because she didn't feel the chemistry was there. At least 6 different times I've had dates with the same type of woman, one who has a long history of wild, impulsive, passionate, no-holds-barred sex. She invariably finds something lacking in that lifestyle and decides to make a change, going from no-holds-barred sex to no sex, starting with the very next man she dates, who is invariably me. To say there was zero attraction is like saying the Ku Klux Klan has no affirmative action program. Every minute of that 30-minute coffee date was an eternity, and those are 30 eternities I'll never get back again. I also worry about settling. At what point do you look at the person across the table and say to yourself, okay, I'm done looking. She has enough of what I want. I'll be with her. And then not have the feeling a few months or years down the line, gee, her bright red hair, guttural German accent, and collection of antique soup ladles didn't seem quite so annoying when we first met. I'm as comfortable in a cocktail dress as I am in jeans. Tell me, is this a female trait guy's desire? It must be, because so many women mention it on their dating profiles. I mean, I have a number of single male friends, and I honestly can't recall the last time any of them said to me, you know, Mark, Amy's a wonderful woman, but I just don't think it'll work. She's nowhere near as comfortable in her cocktail dress as she is. There's a woman here tonight who you saw was billed as Beulah Sanchez. That's her pen name, aka Rosalind Fleischer. Is a screenwriter, novelist, and comedian. Her recent book is titled Really? One Woman's Adventures of Dating in the Digital World. It's a hilarious look at online dating from the female perspective, episodic and reminiscent of a modern-day Sex and the City. The recurring characters and dating situations will have you laughing out loud. And what we're going to do is something that Yaakov will explain. Right now, we're going to do a bit together, and Yaakov
Right
will...
here. I will set this up. Okay. So here's the bit. Mark and Beulah are going to act out the thoughts that they have during the date that no one hears. But you will now. Here is Mark and Beulah, ladies and gentlemen.
Rosalind, here I go again. Date number 163. And who's counting? At this rate, by next May, I'll have dated every unattached woman in the city, at which time I'll have to start importing them from other countries.
Hi, Mark. Nice to meet you. Dear Lord. Please don't let this one be a stalker, a jerk, or have serious psychological issues like the last 6. I believe I've reached my annual quota for restraining orders.
Do you want to get some coffee? And then decide within 10 minutes whether there's a chance we might eventually see each other naked, or most likely never see each other again.
What kinds of things would you look for, like in online dating? What sort of descriptions would appeal to you in an ad?
Is this for me?
Yeah.
Somebody who
The
was...
cocktail dress versus, you know, the jeans, or...
I generally don't date people who wear cocktail dresses, so that wouldn't appeal to me. The jeans is much more preferable, but I would love it. I would love to date someone who actually told me the truth, and that is really, really hard to find. I talk about this in my book a lot. I've been catfished a few times. I don't know if you guys know what that is. That's when somebody posts an entirely false profile, false picture, false everything, and then when you actually show up to the date, you have no idea who you're looking at because you've been shown a hot model's picture and this guy is a troll.
I did apologize for that. Folks, thanks so much for coming out. I wanted to wish you a smooth romantic journey for yourselves. Appreciate your time.